Hey, what's up guys? It's Leverboy. Okay, today I want to talk to you about a gun that I had. I really regret getting rid of it. What makes it even worse is that I've had two of them and I had to get rid of both of them. Let me take you on a little journey and explain a few things about the guns that I'm talking about. Okay, today we're talking about the Sig P220 in 45 ACP. I wanted this gun for a long time. Besides the Sig P210, the P220 was one of the originals, and it came in 45 ACP and it came in 9mm, if I remember correctly. And they've always been single stack guns. Sig P220R, my first 45 gun that I own. It came with two 8-round magazines. I'll give y'all a look at what the mags look like. You know, if these still work just fine, I'll continue to use them. But I think I can get 10 rounds. They just end up sticking out a little bit further, and I probably will get them because they're the same price as the 8 rounds. Got that 10-shot magazine in here. So the reason I wanted a Sig 220 or a 45 is because I wanted to be able to shoot 45 Super. You know, not every gun can handle 45 Super, but this one apparently can, and the USB can, of course, too. Having that round for, you know, big hogs or some kind of game that might require the extra oomph that it has always was appealing to me. If you ever go into bear country or something kind of big game country, this is a good one to have with 45 Super. Buffalo Boar, Tim over there, he has recently said that with his ammo specifically, it's hard to get a reliable 45 ACP that runs his 45 Supers. So I'm not sure if the gun would have ran his or not, but I do know that you can run it through the gun and it not damage it. Okay. Just to prove to all of you how durable the Sig P220 is, I'm gonna do a torture test. I'm gonna drop it in this filthy, dirty stream, just to prove to you how reliable this firearm can be. Let's do it. Nope! I found out real quick that, first of all, 45 does not kick like everybody claims it does. The old 45 ACP. It doesn't have a bad recoil impulse at all. A lot of people like to cry about that. Now, maybe if you get into some of your hotter loads, it might end up kicking a little bit, but it didn't feel bad to me. Okay, here's a comparison between the snappy P365 XL and the 220. Take a look and see what you think. It is a little bit more, but it's not that much more. Especially if the 220 fits your hand, and it fit my hand like a glove. You know I make a big deal about that. Especially if I had the rubber Hogue grip on there. It also came with the Hogue grip. I would have never ordered the Hogue grip if it hadn't been on here because I just wouldn't have thought it would fit me good. But boy, was I wrong. This Hogue grip makes this gun feel amazing. The Hogue grip probably felt the best, but the second one that felt pretty good was another grip from Hogue called, it was the wooden Pau Faro grips, if I remember correctly. And those felt really good and they looked 10,000 times sexier. It made me feel really good, really cool and good on the inside to have some wooden grips on a gun that was not only aesthetically pleasing, but was very functional. Those worked out really good and I enjoyed having them on the gun when I had them. Pretty sure it's a police trade-in, and I believe it's the Sig 220 Nitron R. These are the original night sights that came on it. They done lost a lot of their light. I tested them in the dark and they've just barely glow. I got the suppressor height night sights, so this one's gonna look like a tall boy. No ma'am, don't mess with them. Let me just show y'all real quick the trigger on this 220. Double action is gonna look something like that. And it's got some weight to it, but what I love about all the Sig pistols, or the 226 series, or 2220, or 229, they're so smooth. It's heavy, but it's smooth. I love the smoothness of it. Let's go ahead and cock it and show you the single action. Got a little take up right there. Break. And then I'll show you the reset. Right there. And then you got a little bit of take up right there, and then boom, break again. Damn, that's short enough for me. No trigger job needed now. I can make that work all day long. Now, one of the psychological things about the 45 ACP for me was that it was such a big round. It's so much bigger than the 9mm. Now, we know in hindsight it's not really that much bigger, but it does make a difference. And in my mind, shooting at something with a bigger bullet meant I had a greater chance of hitting that thing if I shot it with the 45. I was surprised about how accurate I was with the 220, and I did get better at shooting it. It reflected it later on in some of those targets that I shot at. I just like the idea of shooting big bullets. I want to give you a comparison between this and the Sig 226. Here's my Legion. I'm gonna lay it down. Very, very close in the size. 220 is just the tiniest bit longer. They are very, very similar. Test the weight for it and see which one's heavier. Man, they're so close in the... I'm gonna say the Legion's a little bit heavier. Yep. Ripley, you wanna learn about guns? Come on. You're so sweet. Loves you so much. And this is the gray guns reset, not the short reset. It's there. And then... So it is a shorter reset, but I don't care. This one's plenty short for me. And another great thing about the 220 I definitely didn't realize is that it's compatible with the 226 Legion or the 226's holsters. Here's the Legion. This is the holster I bought for it. I love this holster. Take this. Boom. Fits in there. It actually fits in there better than the 226 does. Just one holster I need for both of these guns. Great benefit. And I believe they fit into the P229 holsters as well. So that was a really nice benefit about them that I did not know about. Bonus. I will probably put the new sights on the pistol before I go out and shoot. Safari. Snap. Got the 220. Close it up. Today I want to test out the X-ray night sights that I put on my Sig P220. I ordered them straight from Sig, and they're actually suppressor height sights. So I want to take these shots on this paper downrange to find out where my point of hold is. I'm going to be shooting Winchester 230 ball. All right. Let's go walk down there and see how I did. All right, guys, looks like I'm kind of pulling low left. Oh. All right, definitely was a little bit tighter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't know where 7 and 8 is. I mean, it's possible they're inside one of the bigger holes. I don't have nearly as much practice with the 220, so we're gonna have to get some more rounds into that pistol. I love the way it shoots, and I love the way it feels. It's almost a direct copy of my 226. That recoil, it's nothing. It's nothing. Put a firm grip on the pistol and you can shoot all day. And this whole grip it's definitely working wonders. Now, definitely one of the funnest days I had with my 220s is when I brought it out to my camp and did some transition drills with my Mini 14. That was a good day. It was funny seeing the power difference between the 5.56 Mini 14 and the 45 ACP. Hey, it was a nice day and I had fun. Let me show you what that looks like.
just that second.
It only took 3 shots to hit 4 cans down. I'd say that's pretty good. The 45 just packs such a wallop that it's knocking down extra Coke cans as well as our main target. In case y'all want to know what I'm wearing today. Got that double gun strapped up with the magazine pouch and my old trusty lion steel knife. Now, both of the 220s performed great for me, and I would absolutely have kept them had I not needed funds. So that was the main reason why I had to get rid of them. It was just at a bad time, but nothing was wrong with the guns at all. They performed really good, and I do regret selling them because I got them at such a good price. I know a lot of you 1911 fans will be like, you should have got a 1911, but 1911s don't feel good to me. Most of them that I pick up just don't fit my hand well, so the Sig line, they fit me, and I like them. And we all know the main point of the 45 ACP is that